So guys, a long time no see of a retro Mac. After all these iMac videos, I thought I'd make a video about something different, but also I'm putting my PowerMacs away for storage, and so I decided I'd take this opportunity and show you this. That's one you have never seen before. Maybe you've spotted it in some videos, but I've never made a dedicated video about it. This is a PowerMac G4 Sawtooth, which means in German Sägezahn. I don't know if they really meant that, but anyway, that's what they called it. This was the first revision of the G4s. It looks very similar to the G3, just with the all silver design instead of the blue and white, and G4 processor, of course. And I picked this up, I don't know, a year, 2 years ago. I don't really know anymore. It's just been sitting around doing not a whole lot. But it works. At least the last time I used it, it worked. I have no idea about specifications. Hell, I don't even know if it has an operating system on it, really. But it should probably boot up without any issues. Now, the Sawtooth is, as I said, the first revision. I think this is a 450 megahertz model. It was considerably slower than the later G4s. For example, the MDD, that's one I'm still missing to finish off my PowerMac collection. Also a G5, but from this design style, I'm only missing the G4 MDD. This was the first one. Still have the Quicksilver, of course, which is the next machine after this, next generation. And so, yeah, why don't we flip it open, the trademark thing of the PowerMacs, and see what's inside. Now, this is original, unrestored. It's in not too bad shape, but I haven't really restored it, cleaned it thoroughly. I wanted to do that, but I never got around to it. And now that I'm putting it away into storage, I might just leave it the way it is. But hey, oops, just crashed into my Dell monitor. So here is the inside. Looks just like any other PowerMac G4 and also the G3. Now, you can spot some differences if you're into these machines right away. First of all, we got no CPU fan, only passively cooled. Something that's just unthinkable of a pro machine these days, but back then they could do it. These G4s, they don't run hot. Then we have this, which is an additional module. Just looking what it is. It is an Ethernet module. So, no, sorry. A phone modem module, which is very useless nowadays, but back then must have been a big deal. Dial-up modem were the big thing back then in the 90s. Then we have 3 RAM sticks. One could still be upgraded. The original GPU, which is an ATI card. Don't really know what it is. It says Rage 128, so I guess that's what it is. Original IBM Desk Star, they call it Death Star, because it's supposed to fail so much. Hopefully it didn't. 41 gigabytes. Yeah, I think this had its CMOS battery replaced at one point. This looks different than the OG one. I've also picked up one of these for my Quicksilver when the CMOS was dead and the message was just getting on my nerves. Then we have, what is this power supply? It's TÜV geprüft. Wow. Something unthinkable today that this is maybe even made in... No, it's made in China. Alright, never mind. Made in China. And it is a... Did it say it somewhere how strong? 126 watt. 126 watts, yeah. Alright. Don't know the company though. Aztec. This is what it is. Alright. Then we have a DVD drive. And down there a zip drive. And a big PowerMac cooler fan to blow out all the excess air. And when you close this thing up, it has of course better airflow than open. Although I wouldn't really worry too much about thermals on this. This is a pretty low thermal system. I think it's not gonna run all that hot. And yeah, not a lot more to show other than some PCI slots here, and here are the connectors for the IDE, and that's really all there is. Now port wise we got just the basic selection. We have here power input and also another power to plug in power, which is weird, probably for other monitors or something. Could that be? I don't know. Anyway, we get 2 firewires, 2 USB 1s, a audio in and out port, and here, as I said, the dial-up phone modem thing, and Ethernet. And that's really all there is. The VGA port from the graphics card, not a whole lot, but it could be upgraded, of course. You could stick in like a USB 2.0 card, it would work no problem. So without further ado, why don't we hook this up to the monitor and see if it boots, if it has an OS on it, and if it hasn't, then maybe install an OS quickly, so we can see if it works. And yeah, let me get it wired up, and so we can start it. It's hooked up. Let's see if it boots. The old IBM drive is alive. So, we got a signal. Pretty good. It's booting into a classic Mac OS 9.2. Look at that. Yeah. Not bad at all. So we got an OS on here. It's probably the original install. Although no, that is wrong because you're running here an English version. So I must have at some point upgraded that, or somebody else did it. But maybe we messed with this after all. I don't really remember. Can't really say. But I don't think so. Well, anyway, here is a successful boot up of macOS 9. 9.2.2 is, of course, the latest version of the classic macOS. So we could still update this to 9.2.2. But it's pretty like up to date in terms of like the classic macOS. Taking a little while. Alright, here we go. Now I boot it. Yeah. Something from QuickTime couldn't load. Oh, how bad is that? Let's just see. Yes. QuickTime VR. Oh, VR from the 90s. Must be kind of interesting to look at that. So we have what we have here: King of Parking, some sort of game. Oh yes, I must have for sure messed with this because we got here this and this file. That can only come from me. But first, let's check out how much RAM we have. We have 384 megabytes of RAM, which is plenty of RAM for like macOS 9, and still plenty for Panther, and not really for Tiger anymore, but well, for anything up to Tiger I think it's sufficient RAM. But maybe Panther might be slow, so yeah, might consider upgrading it to some more RAM. Anyhow, let's go into System Profiler. 400 megahertz, yep, I remember that right. That's good. Oh, it's only a CD drive, not a DVD drive. Alright, so this didn't have the DVD drive option yet, but a Quicksilver PowerMac has. But yeah, not bad. Not really all that important. What we have here, yeah, we get the full partition here for macOS 9. And display card, an ATI-RH 16 meg card. Yep, that's the OG card. I think it is pretty comfortable with the resolution of this monitor. 1024 by 768 should be a pretty usable resolution for this old GPU. Let's see what we got. I don't really want to upgrade this because I've got plenty of systems which run early, like Mac OS 10, but I've got very little that run Mac OS 9, and this runs it without an issue, so might as well just keep it at Mac OS 9. Probably that's what I thought anyway, so I never messed with it. Just been so long. Let's see what we have. Adobe Photoshop 4.0. Oh yeah, maybe I wanted to create out of this system like my personal like Mac OS 9 software archive, like for old cool software. That could be. Never got around doing that, but I noticed one very cool website. I can't really remember it right now, but it's called like Macintosh Repository or something. And you can download lots and lots of cool software for old Mac systems, which is very, very cool, but I just had never the time to check out some more. But I really want to like play around with some old like Office and whatnot. Alright, so we got an old version of Photoshop 4.0 PowerPC. Oh yeah, 1996. Well, you can still see, you know, it's pretty much the same like layout nowadays, just with way more features, of course, but the basic layout is the same. So I guess if you're into Photoshop, you can immediately start using this as if nothing happened. You're just gonna miss lots of stuff, obviously, but I think this is still the same. I mean, I'm no professional photo editor like at all. I know a little bit, but very basic things. So yeah, why don't we try something? Oh, it's even in centimeters, so even metric. Thanks a lot for that. But we can of course have inches. Yep. Why don't we do 20 by 20? Resolution. Yeah, whatever, right? And now let's do a gradient. Let's see. Yeah, that's better. A little more color because Mac OS 9 looks pretty bland itself as is, so might as well bring some color in here. Yeah, I like the red more. But this is not how it works. Yeah, I know. Let's create a label. Geneva. Let's call this PowerMac G4 Sawtooth. When was this built? 1999. There were even like different. Oh, look at all of these different like models of PowerMac G4s before the Quicksilver. Look at all of this: PCI, AGP, Gigabit, G4Q, which I own also, digital audio, and then there's only the Quicksilver starting. So, oh my God! So here we got a PowerMac 3.1. Now I'm just not gonna risk writing here the wrong date. That would be embarrassing. Just give it a little bigger font here. Yeah, this not this boring Geneva. Let's go to maybe even more boring Times New Roman, but yeah, that's more like Apple-ish. Oh, it's red. We don't have anything more interesting in here. Oh, we have Adobe After Effects. We got this funny photo, which is not gonna open up, I guess. This application requires QuickTime 5. Oh no. And no right click also, that's weird. Anyway, After Effects, I have no idea about After Effects. Lazilia, graphing calculator, just the basic things. iMovie. Is that maybe? Oh, improper QuickTime. We have a messed up QuickTime, guys. Should fix that. One day I will. Just quickly want to check out what PowerMac this is now. Where does it say it? PowerMac G4 PCI Graphics. So this isn't even HEP. Oh, I didn't even see that. Like, it was in front of my eyes, but I just took it for granted and didn't look closely. But PCI Graphics, guys. PCI Graphics. Wow. Wow. That's some old school stuff. But this is indeed then my one and only PCI graphics card. I wonder if this would work on a PC. I have, for example, a Desk Pro EN compact, and it only has PCI slots and could hold a PCI card, but since this is a Mac flashed card, maybe it would work, maybe not. But it wouldn't be a performance gain at all. It would just be, well, it would be about the same actually. Maybe a tiny bit faster, but not a whole lot. Still interesting to look at this old PowerMac though. I'm just quickly gonna hop over to my Cinebench 03 and see if I have this benchmark, because if not, I can do it right away. Would be interesting, but I think I have. Alright guys, it turns out I have indeed benchmarked it. It scored 43 CPU, which is about 10 points better than the G3, and it is only 3 points worse than my iBook G4 with 1 GHz, which is considerably newer. So yeah, interesting to look at that. And yeah guys, so this is really all I can show you and have time for today. I can report it works great, nothing wrong with it. So it can go into storage, and I know that it works and it's not messed up in any way. But you know, lots of my computers are, because just the way we do things here. But this one's in working condition, and yeah, so hope you enjoyed it. I know it's not that interesting because I couldn't show you some cool stuff, but unfortunately I can't always upgrade and do some cool hardware hacking stuff. But this is it. So thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.